Have you checked the children?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the horror show Shark Week 2020. I'm Cecil Laird.
And I'm Jaime Fuego.
And-
Whoa. Sorry.
Jeez, really drew that one out.
Yeah.
We are joined once again by our friend Brian Gatto from the Horror Show Host channel.
Hail you,
He has his own horror channel that I will put a link in the description box down below, where he talks about shark movies, creature movies, all kinds of stuff under the horror umbrella, as well as metal and
destruction. I mean, my God, I
all
still
kinds of
remember
stuff.
when he was doing a cover of Cannibal Corpse, Brian, and I was just loving the hell out of it, man. You and I have that metal affinity collaboratively. So.
Oh yeah.
So
I've been
I was
trying
going
to
to say, welcome back, Brian.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
I jumped in.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back for Deep Blue Sea 3, especially because it's a lot better than Deep Blue Sea 2.
Significantly.
Indeed. So yes, we are back to continue our Shark Week coverage with Deep Blue Sea 3, rounding out all of the movies in this installment, which now that there's 3, we can technically do it on our tier list ranking for the franchises, Fuego.
Look forward to that.
So,
We're going to do a
yes.
shark tier ranking at some particular point.
Well, yeah, at the end of this week, we are actually putting up our Shark movie tier list ranking. Fuego and I are going to be recording that next week after he is all caught up and all that good stuff. So
Yeah, I only have a couple. I have The Reef, and I'm gonna rewatch Bait, even though I know, that.
And then you have
that's one that
Sharknado.
I've seen before.
gotta watch Sharknado.
I have to watch it at some point. Brian, what is your thoughts on those Sharknado films? I'm really curious, man. Are they fun
different-
and you just disregard the stupidity?
No, he likes them.
No, I liked them.
Yep.
Past tense. There we go.
Oh, okay. It's another one of those.
I mean- Yes. The first one, I think it's okay because they didn't have the budget to do what they wanted, and when they had the budget to do what they wanted, they went too far.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
Oh, wow.
That's a fair assessment.
Interesting,
Okay.
Because they made, what, like 6 or 7 of them?
Six,
yeah.
Six,
So
yeah.
To the point. I haven't watched any of them,
called,
so I'm, like, totally unaverse. And...
Yeah, they made 6, so it was called The Last Sharknado. It's about time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so do they have
And
the
it
dude
was.
from 90210 in all of them?
Yep.
He's the main guy? Okay.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, we're not here to talk about Sharknado.
Sorry.
God damn it, Fuego. All right, so we are here to finish our reviews with Deep Blue Sea 3, or of the Deep Blue Sea series. So this one
For
actually
now.
just came out last week for those of you that are watching this as this airs. And again, having come off of Deep Blue Sea 2, which we all pretty much really didn't like, I didn't have high hopes for this. However...
Same. The burden of expectation, or
Yep.
the lesser aspect of it.
Yep, but
sometimes.
this one actually ended up being pretty entertaining, and I think it was largely because of the setting. I thought it was a clever setting, and it made for an interesting story. The main actress is an actress that we've seen numerous times, all the way back to Lost. She was one of the other, the tailies, if I'm not mistaken, in Lost.
Yeah, she was also in Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
There you go.
Yep.
Was that the one with Daddario? apparently?
Yeah, I think that was the one with
Okay.
Daddario.
Daddario.
So yeah, but
Having a moment.
this was about the setting is this little fishing village that was built, this little man-made island that was like home to like 70 people or something like that, and it's mostly been abandoned except for 2 leftover islanders and this main girl that is doing research there, and she's made friends with Sally the Great White Shark. That
Which
and
is funny. She calls back to it constantly throughout it, and her
Yeah.
intersea, sort of situations.
But basically what happens is the escapees from Deep Blue Sea 2, Bella and her remaining children,
Progeny.
end up running across this little island land, and rather than moving along because there's next to no food, they decide to stick around and hang out at this area until people not only realize it, but decide to start going after them and killing them as a result. So I will say that for overall thoughts, starting them off, I will say that this was definitely more enjoyable than Deep Blue Sea 2 by a long shot. I think it was a more cohesive story that was, because it was more original, I was willing to forgive more stuff. than when they just tried to copy Deep Blue Sea 1 in a worse fashion.
Yeah.
So
this
I
was a totally
actually
different
quite
kind of
enjoyed
movie.
this. I quite enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it's a perfect movie or even a great movie, but it's definitely, if I had this to watch amongst a bunch of other sci-fi shark movies, I think I would likely watch this one first. I dug it more. So what about you, Fuego?
I'm gonna echo Cecil's sentiments and the fact that this I appreciated so much more the fact that we had underwater shots of people actually swimming and doing things as opposed to being in just said confined
footage and stuff.
quarters or whatever, which they tried to do into as well as the first one. Like the first one, it was its own thing, it was fine, but the third one, it almost felt more like Jaws, especially after with some of the re-rankings that we've watched with 2 and 3 and 4 and stuff like that with the Jaws franchise. This felt more like a Jaws movie to me, and it embraced its silliness at times with the conflict amongst characters, which I appreciated, and didn't take seriously either. And it also had nods back to the instances in the previous franchise, particularly with a love interest of somebody who is if I can't do this, I would rather be with her, and then a shark jumps up. It's out of control, man. I mean, I'm sure Brian remembers that particular bit, but I had fun with this movie. I didn't have fun with Deep Blue Sea 2, and that's the bottom line and most important thing to resonate, is that Deep Blue Sea 2 was not fun. 3 actually made me interested in the franchise again. So,
what are your overall thoughts on Deep Blue Sea 3, Brian?
I like that Dirk Blackman, the writer, made his own little world on this little shanty fishing island. It's really just a little slice of heaven, and then you see it get demolished and destroyed, and these characters that you grew to actually kind of enjoy are they're just dying, and you're I keep on saying I just can't stand that.
That's all right.
But overall, I think the film is almost as good as the first one, to be honest.
Wow, you liked it that much, huh?
Yeah, but I also don't think the first one's a masterpiece. So
fair enough.
And that's like S for me. I mean, I
would
rewatched it.
We'll see how the shark ranking goes, but yeah, I don't think that this compares. I think this might be a tier or two away from the first one in quality myself. However, it is also a tier or two away from part 2 by a long shot as well.
Although I must say, Catherine was I think I like 3 better than the first one when we watched.
Oh wow,
it.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I mean,
My mom was
outside
the same way,
of
actually. That's
couple
funny.
of significant others. Yeah,
That's
she just
interesting.
liked the whimsical, lighthearted aspect of the third one, and so
I do
know-
like that main actress too. Sorry, Brian, go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. So, want to know something funny?
Yeah.
Me, my mom, and my dad all watched this movie. We were just having a blast. And afterwards, and this is going to be my review for Deep Blue Sea 3, shameless plug. I asked her, how much do you think this film cost? Now, keep in mind, the first one was around $60 million, and the second one was a little bit around $4 million. She's like, oh, if I were to guess, $120 million.
Jesus.
I was like, $5 million.
That's an untrained eye a little bit there.
Yeah.
That's a bit crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
that first film, Rennie Harlan did not direct low-budget chisel. I mean, whether it's,
Right.
Nightmare on Elm Street stuff or Cliffhanger
Oh, yeah.
or whatever. I mean, he was one of those Swedish directors that found his place, and he directed bigger budget sort of stuff, and that's why I love Deep Blue Sea, because it's over-the-top silliness in that regard, so...
And to be fair, we watched Deep Blue Sea 2 and 3, but we didn't watch 1 because she had seen that movie so many times.
Okay.
So that could be why she got it kind of maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, totally.
Well, we talked briefly about the story. The scientist is doing her studies, and then the sharks from the second movie run afoul of this little shanty village, and people start dying off, while the people that are trying to capture the sharks are doing so at any cost and with no witnesses. And so there's a human danger element that's introduced that I think is just silly.
And they tie it in because it's the same company. Like, whereas in Deep Blue Sea 2, they only talked about, aspects here and there, right, Brian? But in 3, they talked about the Makos, they talked about the Bulls, they, like, tied it all together. They actually tried to be comprehensive in the franchise correlation, which I thought was cool.
What I think they should have done was also got, like, was not Ray Wise. What was his name? The guy who was with Samuel L. Jackson in the first one, the opening scene.
Oh goodness, what's his name?
Oh,
the courtroom. Well, it's not courtroom scene, but where
Yeah,
he's in the office talking
office,
initially.
yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Oh, yeah, it starts with an R. But if they got him back, he's been in some lower budget movies recently too. He was in RoboCop. I can't remember his name, but if they got him back, and I always thought that maybe if they did a third one, but this is before the third one was announced, that the movie could end in the third one where they have to go trace back to Aquatica.
Oh,
That'd be kind of
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And they have all these new experiments going on. Like,
Well, but it sank. It blew up.
but they could rebuild it in 20 years. It'd be
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I mean, it was an underwater,
wasn't-
like, kind of establishment, so to speak, and so maybe the
Yeah, but the
above-
structure failed.
Yeah.
That was the whole point. That's why they had to swim to the surface.
But
And
I
do
actually
that.
Yeah, true.
I'm the meanest motherfucker in the valley! During that
No,
stupid speech.
I love that voiceover. What are you talking about, man?
Did you ever notice when they're rising up the hatch? That's like there's a cross on it.
I didn't. I don't know if I noticed that. No.
I love that. But I thought that if they ever make a Deep Blue Sea 4, well, I recently thought this, I would kind of go with Dirk Blackman's original idea, where the third one was supposed to take place on like an old warship or whatever, and they have these sharks inside. So you know how all the sharks are supposedly dead now?
Yeah.
Maybe they weren't all dead. Maybe they were hiding them. Like, because these were only 3 of like 20 sharks.
True.
They said they tried different methods to kill them. Maybe they didn't kill them all.
Well, it's not only that. They said a couple of times the sharks could be mating now, so
That too.
they could have been mating and had the kids already. So yeah, they could pull it off, but
Well, and I'm
I think they
also
will, to
thinking
be
about
honest.
the fact that they were initially, when a Jaws sequel was proposed, they were like, well, let's just do the Indianapolis, man. Let's just do that as a movie. And they later did that as a movie with, the Nicolas Cage, Brian, if I remember correctly. I never watched it, but
No, I didn't either.
nonetheless.
There's also a 90s
Yeah, that was the
movie, I
original
think.
idea for a Jaws sequel, prequel, like continue the franchise sort of shit. So.
And then they did the same thing in Deep Blue Sea 2 to then just do a retread.
yeah.
Just a lot better. But
Which is why I like 3 so much more, was because it did something different. And that fight between the black guy and the Aussie is still, like, I laughed so hard at that. And,
It was pretty funny, but
it was
they
testosterone moment of ridiculousness.
but not only that, they used more practical sharks in this
Truly,
one
yeah.
for more of the stuff, and
Which is something we need to veer back to.
yeah,
and
the
make
effects
mention
wise,
of.
I thought that it was just more enjoyable because the stuff that we got made sense, and yes, there was quite a bit of digital stuff, but it wasn't so egregiously in your face like part 2's was that it didn't hold up, you know?
Yeah, and even the CGI that they used, I mean, Brian, I don't know what you felt, man, but I thought the effects were better in this movie than they were in the second film. So I don't know.
thought
Elaborate
they weren't-
if you care.
they weren't even a mixed bag. They were like good for like 95% of the film.
Yeah,
I was surprised.
totally.
But do you guys mind spoilers?
Let's hold off on spoilers just because it just came out.
Sure.
But
I'll
what do
tell
you
you
want? What do you
after.
want to say about it? Like,
Okay.
You want to make a point about the spoiler? Like what?
Was that bit with the boyfriend?
No. I have a little issue with the movie that
please,
could destroy the whole plot.
Oh, so you found a plot hole kind of thing? Oh.
Yeah, they have the shark tracker. Not the shark tracker, the shark, whatever you call it, draws them to the beacon because it's supposedly from Bella.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it is from Bella. If they were trying to chase the sharks from the very beginning, why weren't they just using the tracker? Why'd they have to go chase them?
Yeah, because plot.
Yeah, they had to make.
And
the
that's
movie
where I
had
think
to
of
happen
Ryan
pretty much.
George, and he's just like, because, you know, I'm sorry, get
Yeah,
off my back.
I don't
Sorry we
know.
brought them
I
to
don't
you.
know, get off my back.
Yeah, it's
I think it would have worked if they said, "Well, we intentionally brought them to you," but then we find out he was keeping it from the company all along. So
there's a lot that could be fixed about these Deep Blue Sea movies. Let's be honest.
yeah, every
So,
single one.
but yeah, effects wise, I mean, what did you guys feel like? I mean, were you happy with it? Was it as disappointing?
I
mean,
thought this one
it
looked
was.
significantly better. I mean, just the fact that in that second film we had those little, like, minnow shark-looking CGI. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me, man.
And plus-
this one significant, yeah.
And
Up
plus,
in-
bull
up
sharks
the,
can't even have that much
proverbial
any
basket.
pups.
Oh, really?
Not at once. No, they can have like I think 2 or 3, not 20.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But I also am a sucker for night shots in my shark movies. They had it in the second one. It looked okay. It looks better at night actually than during the day. But I really like the night scene in the third one because you got to know the characters more, and the set was just cozy and warm, and I loved it.
Yeah, there was a lot that was just better, more entertaining, and money better spent than in Deep Blue Sea 2. So
And also the cute little love story amongst the couple characters and stuff. I mean,
Oh,
and
I
I
felt so
knew
bad.
Dude was gonna. Well, we're not gonna say that, but
It was in the
nonetheless,
trailer.
I mean, sometimes that anticipation helps with just resonation and being like, oh, well, I'm sad that person didn't make it, even if I knew they were going to. So, yeah.
I think the saddest part about that was the dialogue he had wasn't like trying to be a sweeping ladies man. He was just trying to be a sweetheart. He was trying to be like, I hope when this we're all done, we could hang out some more. It's like it's not like he's trying to be too forceful. That he's trying testing the waters.
yeah.
Yeah, after he had that voiceover
Pun
though,
intended.
Brian, I was like, this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I was like, oh, he's a guy.
I just saw it coming.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds like all in all, we all enjoyed Deep Blue Sea 3 a little bit better than 2.
Significantly better, dude. This
So,
was way more
yeah,
fun.
I would give this one, probably a 2.5 to 3 out of 5 almost.
Oh, this was 3 out of 5 for me. I
Yeah,
ranked
3.
it as such on Letterboxd. You know,
Yeah.
I had fun with this movie. I legit hated Deep Blue Sea 2. This one I enjoyed. So that's a big, like, just detour of, assessment, I suppose.
Brian?
Yeah, 3 out of 5.
Yeah?
But I'm also giving the first one a 3.5.
So, yeah, I'd give the first one probably a 4 myself, but
Oh, man.
that's close enough.
No,
That's
first
close enough.
one's 4.5,
Yeah.
man.
Uh,
I love
People
Deep Blue
give it a 5 out of 5.
Anyway,
We'll
so-
see what happens during the tier list ranking. So stay tuned for that, you guys. After this, you'll have reviews of The Reef, Shark Night, Sharknado, and maybe 1 or 2 others. So thank you very much to Brian for joining us from the
Yeah.
Horror Show host. Again, the
And
link.
can I make a shameless plug?
Yeah, go for it.
And just check out my channel, Horror Show Host. I'll have a Shark Week starting August 3rd to August, was it 9th or 10th? I don't know.
So he's
And,
right in the middle of it as this one drops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And also check out my book, Chomp, which was just released recently. So,
There you go.
Okay, I would be remiss. Brian, what is your favorite shark kill?
and what, Deep Blue Sea 3 or?
Anything. What's your favorite
Anything?
shark kill, dude?
Probably Quint's death.
Oh, that's a great one. It's a great one.
It's the most vicious, and there's no music, which is
Yeah.
it makes it all the more hard. I mean, not hard.
Just
Hard hitting. It's
Just
very impactful.
piercing
'cause you-
screams. That's it.
Yeah, when
And
there's a
crunching
character you care
sounds
about
is
especially,
nasty.
too.
Piercing screams and crunching bones.
Sorry, I veered from
Yeah, you
our,
did.
Our planning. I'm sorry, Cecil.
All right, so that's going to do it, you guys. Thank you again for watching. We are going to be over on Brian's channel at the end of his Shark Week coverage, discussing shark movies in general. We're going to be shark whispering with Brian. So come back and join us over on his channel there. The link is again in the description box if you want to join over on his platform for us doing that. But for now, that's going to do it. Thank you guys very much for watching. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
And gracias, Jaime and Fuego.
And
I'm
remember,
Brian Gatto.
yep, sorry. I kind of outroed for you a little bit. My bad.
That's all right.
But remember, guys, stay
Stay scared.
All right.
Thanks,
The
man.
Exactly.
outro.
Hail Yizzle, dude.
All right, Brian. So thank you very much for joining us, man.
No problem.
Miss you, homeboy.
All right. Have
All
a good night, guys.
You too, man. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye.